All right, so here's part B, 2.6, the task. If you happen to miss class the other day, going to talk about the beginning of how to factor. We left off with question 5 in the previous video, so this is question number 6. It's asking us, gee, how do we look at the problem in this expanded form and tell how I've changed each side? The change comes from the middle portion here. So this middle portion would tell me that I have expanded by 5x's on one side and by 3 on the other. When I do that, a rectangle is formed because I've gone from a square to a rectangle, and it wants me to write two equivalent forms. Well, I want to write it as a product of factors. How did I expand each side by? This is my length and my width. So the area would be expressed as x plus 3 times x plus 5. That's as products. Or multiples, same thing. How about if I write it in a condensed form? That's pretty easy. What do you see? X squared plus 8x's, 3 on one, 5 on the other, plus 15. Question 7 is the same way. If we look at question 7, I should be able to tell in an expanded form how much I've extended each side by. 6 on one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 on the other. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yes, you need to draw these models. We will get to a point where we won't draw them here shortly. Okay, in fact, in the next question we won't. So what is this going to look like? Well, I want it in multiple or factored form. So the area of this is expressed as x plus 6 times x plus 4. I could have flip-flopped those, doesn't matter. Multiplying, you can multiply in any order you want. In my condensed form, simply combine these two. So x squared plus 10x plus 24. Right? So that's kind of that in a nutshell. All right, so what's the process then about doing this? How am I going to take this condensed form, sorry, I almost dropped the camera, the condensed form and stretch it out? How am I going to get to the form over here that we had for 7? That's pretty easy. You're going to take the last term, the c value, and you're going to find its factors. Okay? Physically write them. If you don't write them, you are going to get a 0 for this. Anytime I tell you, I instruct you, list your factors, and you don't, you get a 0. Why? Because it's important that we see what's going on. I'm going to start with 1 and I'm going to go through 10. And you're going to find out how quickly I can list all my factors. Well, the factors of the last term, 10, are 1 and 10. Is 2 a factor? Ask yourself. 2 times what is 10? 2 times 5. Is 3 a factor? 3 times nothing is 10, so no. Is 4 a factor? 4 times nothing is 10, so no. 5, yes, 5 is a factor, but I want to work smarter, not harder. I've already listed 5 as a factor. 5 times 2 is 10, so why do I want to list it again? Is 6 a factor? 6 times 10 is nothing. 7 times 10 is nothing. 8 times 10 is nothing. 9 times 9 is nothing. 10 times 1 is 10. It's already listed. Almost got myself. Now that I've done that, ask myself, what factors of 10 will add to give me B, or 11, right here? Think back to the other two problems that we just did. Look at them. 5 plus 3 was 8. 5 times 3 was 15. 6 plus 4 was 10. 6 times 4 was 24. Go back and look at them. I dare you. So here, multiples of 10 that give me 11. I can physically see that. And I stress this because it's only going to get harder. Now I'm going to use those factors to stretch my problem apart. X plus 10x plus 1x, if you want to write the 1, plus 10. Now that it's in expanded form, that is a clue as to how. Here's another form besides the standard one. Okay? This is a clue of how I can find out how to write my factors. X plus 10, x plus 1. There you go. It's that simple. Question number 11. List my factors of 10. Gee, I just listed them over here, Mr. Wilson. Yes, you did. So if you listed them over there, guess how easy it's going to be to list them on the next problem? It ought to be really easy. So I'm going to list them over here again. 1 and 10, you know it's 2 and 5. 2 is a factor. 3 no, 4 no, 5 yes, it's listed. 7 no, 8 no, 9 no, 10 no. See how fast I can go through that? Which factors of 10 add to give me 7? Well, the factors have changed now. It's no longer 10 and 1, it's 2 and 5. I'm going to use those to expand my problem, a different form yet, just an expanded version. It doesn't matter if I put 2x or 5x first, it does not matter. And then now I can use this to write my factored version, x plus 5, x plus 2. I'm done. It's that easy. It's that simple. 13 to 16. Pick any two you wish to do. I encourage you to pause the video and pick any two, and then come back and we're going to generalize question 17. Give me a second to kind of erase here and move, and I'm going to generalize 17 for you. Okay, 17, it says, what relationships or patterns do you notice? Well, again, what do we notice about, and I'll even go back over here to question 6. What do we notice about this? Okay, multiples, you're going to want to write this down. Multiples of C that add to give me B. That's the general consensus. Multiples of B of C that add to give me B. Rewind that if you need to. Multiples of C that add to give me B. Write that as a complete sentence in 17. Now, question 18. What does it want me to do? Well, it wants me to factor it. Okay, fine. So the first step is to list my factors of C. Right? So 9. List my factors of 9. 1 and 9. Is 2 a factor? No. 3 a factor? 3 times 3. Is 4 a factor? 4 times nothing is 9. 5 times nothing is 9. 6 times nothing is 9. 7 times nothing is 9. 8 times nothing is 9. 9 times 1, it's already listed. 10 times nothing is 9. I've listed all my factors. Great. Now, I need to find out which ones add to give me 7. Oh, wait a second. You should notice 9 plus 1 is 10. 9 minus 1 is 8. That's not 7. 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 minus 3 is 0. I want to pick factors that give me 7, but I don't have any. If you don't have any, that means that this problem is not factorable. It doesn't mean it's not solvable. When a problem is not factorable, what that means is that its graph looks like this. It has no x-intercepts. We will cover that in more detail later. Make sure your work is on time, and if you have questions, you ask, please.